This is Hit and Run.
All right, this has become one of our more popular segments where, just little quick hits. I'm going to start off with a personal note. So when TikTok went out of business for about 20 hours, all of my daughter's friends are on TikTok. We don't allow Callie on TikTok. We just don't. And so she came to me and she said, now that TikTok's gone away, would you be okay with me being on Instagram? And I said, let me talk it over with Mom. So Jody does her due diligence, and Instagram has a level of admittance for teenagers. But you have to be 13. That's the limit. So we went back to Callie and we said, well, we can't allow you to join because the limit is 13 and you're 12. And she said, but all my other friends, they're on Instagram and they're 12. And I said, well, how did they get on Instagram? And they said, well, you don't have to show any proof. Well, right there, Mr. Zuckerberg, it's a farce. You don't have to show any proof. Then there's no guardrail. Anyway, we said to Callie, sign up for it. Put in your real age and see if they let you in. So she did. She put in her real age, and they said, you can join. The limit is 13. So then she got all emotional, and she got all teary. And she said, why do you guys not allow me and all of my friends' parents do? And I will repeat what I've said a lot over the air over the last couple of years. You're only as good of a parent as the parents of your friends, of your kids' friends. So if those parents want to be irresponsible morons and allow their kids to lie to get onto Instagram, then the onus on you to allow it. So Jody and I don't allow it. And now we're the bad parents. We're the ones that our daughters constantly chirping at us. Why are my friends allowed to do this and why not you? Because your friends' parents are idiots. That's why. We don't give her a phone at 12. Oh, my friends have phones. Again, your friends' parents don't get it. So they want to be their kid's friend and not their parent, so they just give them everything they want. So that's what you have to put up with, and Peter's going to have to put up with when his kid grows up too. You're only as good as the parents of your kids' friends. And one more thing to Instagram. Let's show some proof to let people on. So we can have a 9-year-old say they're 13 and you let them in. There's no birth certificate you have to show, so it's all a farce. Social media is the cesspool of the world. Just saying. I love Buster Olney. I really do. But he sent out a tweet the other day. He said the Dodgers have an advantage because they have the Jackie Robinson history and the resulting tradition because of it. What I would say to my buddy Buster, not one person that signed with the Dodgers, not one, went there because Jackie Robinson broke the color line in 1947. Not one. And you talk about tradition. Yeah, the Dodgers have a great tradition. Yankees have a better tradition. They play on the West Coast in L.A., and their ownership pays a lot of money. That's it. If Jackie Robinson had broke the color barrier playing for the Giants, people wouldn't be going to the Giants. I don't think that had anything to do with it. For Ohtani, for Yamamoto, for Sasaki, for the two relief pitchers they just signed, that's nonsense. It's not true. Let's go to the Blue Jays. So they signed Santander, which is 5 years, $92 million. Not a bad deal. But they're going to be a bridesmaid essentially for every big player. They were in on Soto, they were in on Sasaki, they were in on Scott, they were on Corbin Burns. And they missed out on all of them. So I was talking to somebody with a connection to Toronto last night, and I said, why are they not signing Vlad? Imperfect player. You don't know what you're going to get with him. You don't know if he's going to be in shape one year or not. This past year, he was great. The year before, look up his numbers. He was awful. And this guy told me, well, there's a difference of $50 to $60 million that they don't want to bridge. And I said, well, they're never going to get him then. You got a guy who wants to play for the Blue Jays. Wants to. He's a Canadian citizen. You got to overpay to keep him. If not, what are you doing with your franchise? This guy wants to play. He wants to play for the Blue Jays. And he wants to get overpaid because of what Soto got. And because he's young, he's going to get it. Once he becomes a free agent, the Mets are going to sign him and give him whatever he wants. So the only way that you stop that is to sign him now while he's still under your control. And you have until the beginning of spring training on February 11th. That's the deadline he set. Rogers Communications prints money. They are the cable provider for all of the country. And they're going to let $50 or $60 million over a 10-year period stand between signing Vlad Guerrero or not. It doesn't make sense. Makes no sense. The Knicks, big win yesterday against the Hawks after the tough loss against the Timberwolves. And I give Tibbs credit. He played his bench early in the first quarter because he knows he has a back-to-back tonight with the Nets in Brooklyn. And Mikal Bridges completely shut down Trae Young in the third and fourth quarter. That's how you beat him. Condolences go out to Jeff Torborg's family. I knew Jeff from his days as a coach with the Yankees. Just a class guy. Just a wonderful, wonderful man with a great family as well. Had that great season where he's manager of the year with the White Sox when they won 94 games there last year in Comiskey. And he passes away over the weekend. I thought that I actually believe that Tom Brady had one of his best games of the year with the Eagles game the other day. The fact that the people at Fox, Brad Zager, I believe his name is, reached out to Andrew Marchand of The Athletic and said, we don't see a conflict of interest. Really? You really don't? How come I see it? Do you realize that in that entire game, the Commanders the Commanders against the Lions game he did. Do you realize that the entire game, he never said the name Ben Johnson. Never said it once. He said the name Aaron Glenn, never said Ben Johnson. Why? Because he wanted to hire Ben Johnson with the Raiders. That's not a conflict of interest. And the fact that Mike Tannenbaum continues to run all the interviews for the Jets with his 33rd team and is on the air at ESPN is another glaring conflict of interest. It just is. How do you not see that? How do you defend that? Don't get it. Don't get it. Rangers play again tonight. They've gotten a point in every single game over their last 7, so they play the Senators at the Garden. You'll hear it right here on 880. St. John's, ranked 20th in the country. Rick Pitino has done the job for them. Hall of Fame voting becomes official tonight. Will Ichiro be the second unanimous player? The first, obviously, is Mariano Rivera. I think he's probably going to be. I mean, how do you vote against him? But, who's the complete gutless puke that didn't vote for Derek Jeter and has not revealed his or her name? If you're going to make a stand like that and not vote for Derek Jeter, at least say who you are and defend that you didn't vote for Derek Jeter. So Jeter fell one vote short. Ichiro should be a unanimous selection, and CeCe's probably going to get in as well. One quick thing I found out about Ichiro. We always knew that Wade Boggs ate chicken every single day. Ichiro did as well. He ate the same flavored chicken wings every day at 5:05 p.m. Every single day. One quick thing about Sabathia, who's probably going to get in. He's a Hall of Fame pitcher. He's amazing. What he did for the Yankees in 2009, the type of teammate that he is, just amazing. But he showed me what he's all about. Not that he had to. In 2018, it was September 27th, and Andrew Kittredge was on the mound, and he threw at the head of Austin Romine, 93 miles an hour. That was in the fifth inning. Now it's the sixth inning at Tropicana Field, and Sabathia is 2 innings away from clicking into a $500,000 bonus for innings pitched. So he has to pitch the 6th and the 7th, and he had a low pitch count. And he told Romine, first batter, after Romine got thrown at. And Romine tried to talk him out of it. The whole team knew about the $500,000 bonus. You know what Sabathia did? Jesus Sucre was the first batter up. He drilled him. Got thrown out of the game. Cost himself $500,000 because that was the right thing to do as a teammate. That's why everybody who ever played with Sabathia absolutely adores him. And the nice finish to that story, the Yankees realizing what he did and how it would have looked not to do it, they actually gave him the $500,000 bonus anyway. So a good job by them, a great job by CeCe, and he is going to ride into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. Good stuff.